recording. Welcome to another side quest, the fourth of 5. 4 out of 5.
Last, let's go.
Yep. Justin kept flaking forever, and he's like, I'm not trying to flake. I'm like, I know you're not trying to flake, but you just do sometimes.
Yeah, you do, though, you know?
I know it's not intentional, my man. I love you. I love you.
Sometimes we just flake, you know?
People are busy. People will get busy. He's got shit going on. He can't be like this single bachelor over here who's got nothing better to do all the time. He's got a job and responsibilities and a girlfriend. Just like you, except it's a wife and a job and responsibilities. Almost like that's why you two are the last two to be available.
You know, there might be something to that.
All right. So anyway, Charnuk, his side story, you said Charnuk wanted to try and get stronger. So Charnuk, inside Waterdeep, or rewinding 5 months before the most recent tribunal, reached out to the people he knew, which isn't all that many people, looking for help. And Salem said, I'll see what I can do. And when Salem put out some feelers, he came back to you with good information and good news that Haru Lin Ryu was staying in Waterdeep for a bit to learn about the cultural differences between Atul and Atet to help better govern the Freya in the area, while his sons are working in junction with the Prince and Princess of Tendorf and Lian Zhao, as well as the Siri Clovis, Siri Clovis, Mace Olwen, and Avisha Concave are all nobility also working to help the governments in this rebuilding period that is occurring right now in Freya due to the war that transpired. Haru Lin Ryu is currently staying at the Crane Monastery. This is the one founded by Cassandra. Founded for her when she died battling Mansoon. And the Crane monks and the Crane... it's not artificers. It is the archivists have been currently building up the library inside the Crane Academy. And that is where Salem points you towards when you're ready and you want to go meet him during the day to begin your training with Haru Lin Ryu.
Salem, are you telling me that in order to get really buff, I have to go see a bunch of nerds and read a bunch of books? This is ridiculous.
I'd say it's probably going to be more like 10% books, 90% punching things.
I don't know. That's still a bit much.
I understand. I knew this would be potentially the sticking point, but I figured the sheer muscle mass of Haru would be enough to sway you.
You know, that is true. He is kind of a brick wall of a person.
If you don't want him, I mean, I certainly could go find somebody else. That's eventually, as I get time.
I mean, you keep your feelers out, and, you know, if you happen to find any shortcuts, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and, I mean, these things are available. We typically don't dabble in them because there's side effects and contracts are pretty bad.
Right.
Contracts.
Of course, yeah. I wouldn't ask you for it. No, that would be ridiculous. No. But, you know, if I ever found myself in a situation where I was fighting a giant lizard man with magical dark powers for the fate of the world, I would maybe consider, you know,
anabolic steroids. Yeah, shortcuts.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Inside the tavern right now, like the two of you are at the bar. He's sitting at the bar and you're like cleaning the bar off right now as an individual who's just looking for another drink is like, what the fuck is going on right next to you? Totally not understanding the conversation.
Don't worry about it, Jim.
Yeah, no, I won't. Could I just get another?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. He tops his silver down and begins drinking. I'll keep an eye out, see if there's any magical artifacts as things are going. I'm taking a trip out of town for a while, so I won't be around for the next 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how this goes.
Well, I guess I'll see you at the meeting then, probably.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than that, but If that's the case, that might be the next time I see you. Your buddy Ignatius has me going on quite a trip.
Oh, well, have fun. Don't die.
Knock on wood. As he gets up and finishes his drink, puts it down, slams down a silver as well, smiles and goes, "Good luck with Haru. I'm going to go have a time," as he walks away. You do know Ignatius was packing up for a trip that would be taking him to learn more about Skoberheim. So you don't know the details of it at this point.
I don't envy him. He can deal with that mess himself.
Yeah. But that is the general gist of what Charnuk knows.
Okay. I'll clean up the bar, and Lupe, you can take care of things from here. I've got important hero business to attend to.
Oh, you got it, sir. This is, when you're out, I love being in charge, let me tell you.
Well, I mean, you know Gustav is in charge, but I mean, this is your domain, but he's still technically...
That is what I definitely meant that, but sometimes I get excited. So you're right. Put me. Yeah.
You're doing great, kid. Just keep doing what you're doing.
He's like not even looking at you, looking down, does some like tricks, flipping glasses and stuff. Just like, you got it, boss. You got it.
All right. I'll the monastery is like right next door, right?
It is in the sense like it's like a 5 to 10 minute walk. But
right. Take a walk down the block and see what the monastery is all about.
All right. When you approach the monastery, you do see at the center of it is a large statue of Cassandra inside her robes, with like her arm outstretched, holding papers in her hands. These are a representation of the documents that was recovered from Tendorf that she risked her life in order to bring back to Waterdeep to try and protect people's freedoms. And it's all about the pursuit of knowledge. There's inscriptions talking about her story on the statue, and you can see subsequent smaller statues that have, or you recognize, Torleaf. The other two you don't recognize is the Narmeb and who is the fourth? D'Angelo, who is Nyx, but they don't know he's Nyx, and it's the D'Angelo as they knew him, not all the other details. There are smaller statues, and then there is on the wall the crane symbol on like a medallion, basically, but it's stonework. Big, large pillars, as you would think of a monastery. And on top, there is a kind of like a Simpsons giant donut in times of scale, but of a crane statue on top. So it's large, but it's not like, oh my God, this is gigantic. It's just like one of those like, oh yeah, that's a point of reference inside a city. The giant stupid crane thing. When you enter into the monastery, you can see a big desk and just rows and rows of books on many sides. It has a very blue and white, very clean, very sterile environment. You can actually see in the back all sorts of like glass windows, which are like private labs or work areas where people are currently dusting off and examining artifacts. And you can see they're taking notes or taking small samples off and researching all sorts of different anthropology, historical artifacts, and compiling information in the pursuit of knowledge. At the desk, there is a soft-spoken elf archivist that is currently manning the helm. If I could find where I wrote down their name, that would be helpful. If you approach them, you could also just ignore them.
All right. I walk up to the desk and I put my dirty hoof right up on the counter and I look him square in the eyes, bending over to make myself as big as possible. And I say, "Sup, nerd? Show me where the muscle man is."
Give me an intimidation check. There it is, Devin.
That's gonna be a 23.
A 23. Oh yeah. Just like that. She wished me a nice night to stay in touch.
How good.
Nice.
All right.
Charge that phone. Okay. Yeah. He looks up and you can see his demeanor shrinks underneath you and he goes, "Oh. I would presume you are Charnuk of the Heroes of Waterdeep?
Some might say.
Right then. He is out back inside our training areas. I will, you are very large. Much larger.
Very astute.
What we assumed, as you see him like make a note down to your size in one of his journals, and he taps that and he goes, right then. If you follow me this way, I'll introduce you to Master Harulin Ryu.
Oh, thank you so much.
As he goes out to the back, assuming that is what you meant, you push back past all of the books on display and end up going through a single set of doors and stonework that end up now opening up into this wide arena, very Roman Colosseum-esque, but not anywhere close as big. And it's all like on level, and there's no bars keeping people from the center of the chamber out. It is very open. There's people punching different dummies. There's people practicing elemental arts inside here, as that was the preferred style of Cassandra. So you can see wind, water, fire, and earth magic and casters in here protecting their craft, as well as different types of monks and key and just normal individuals. Not everyone in here is a class. Some are just studious. These are just archivists, researchers, and that lot. They are still very much in their infancy, as they've only been around for about a year and a half at this point. It took some time for them to pick up the willpower to establish the Crane Academy, but after hearing her story and as it spread more and more, and then as the Chosen, the Heroes of Waterdeep came through, it made the legends all that more important of what ended up happening. You can see inside is Harulin Ryu currently helping out individuals with his dual-sided glaives right now, as he's slowly walking them through forms, and he's knocking down a multitude of the weapons that they have brandished, as he's showing them in a fluid motion how to keep a defensive perimeter with a ranged weapon. Devin motions down and he goes, he's down there for your approach. I'll leave you to it. Please do your best to respect the area. But I have no doubt you will. But these are just the basic rules I have to express to everybody that uses our facilities.
Oh, absolutely, Devin. You don't need to worry even a little bit.
Mm-hmm. As he turns and leaves to go back to the desk. Do you walk down to approach Harulin Ryu?
He's kind of in the middle of something, isn't he?
He sure is.
So I'll watch from afar for just a little while to see if there's a break in the action.
Yeah. So this goes on for about 2 or 3 more minutes before you can see just how winded the rest of the individuals are. And Haru ends the exercise when he sees that they can't keep pace with them. They were clearly working for quite a while beforehand, but he looks to have endurance that is far superior than most. This is basically his bread and butter. So to be teaching this stuff, he's in a very comfortable domain, but he also can recognize when it's time to ease up and understand that people have their limitations per day. You can only make so much progress. As they are go to take their break, and he puts his glaive back on the stack of weapons that are available. There's a couple of different wooden structures that house a variety of weapons for everybody to use, study, and try to master if they choose. Haru then finds himself coming over to one of the seatings inside this area. The stonework itself is cold, but it seems like it was created in a very ergonomic way as you continue to find yourself using the arena while you wait it. The blue and marble tone to the area, the it's like this. I explained it before. It's like it's gray. It's like gray, and it's not marble. It's like that very smooth textured stone that has like mixes of blue in it, where it's like, oh, that's granite. Yeah, but it's like that's gray. But then you look at it, it's like, oh wait, it's blue, and it's just a tone of blue, but it's very subtle, and you wouldn't know until you put something gray next to it. And you're like, oh yeah, it's gray. So it's very cool. Neutral colors, and it's very calming, is what you constantly feel inside this temple. It's in this state of trying to find this Zen. And Haru is now returning to either recover, meditate, or just hang out by himself for a bit.
I see you, too, are a man of culture using such a large weapon.
You see a grin as he turns around and goes and looks to you, and he goes, a man of culture, I would say. It's nice to meet you, Charnuk, as he reaches out his hand. And as he stands, he is just about as tall as you, but thicker.
Hold on.
How tall are you?
Whoa.
You're 6-something, right?
I'm like 7-something in my bull form. Okay.
He's like 6, 7.
I was gonna say, is this dude human?
No, I thought you were under 7 feet. No, yeah, he's He's like 6'7", but he's wide as a fucking wall.
Very cool.
As he reaches out and gives you a forearm handshake, and he goes, I've been in town for quite a time, and Salem proposed such a meeting. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for me to continue to refine my skills and perhaps aid some of those that have done so much for all of us.
That is true. You know what they say. Iron sharpens iron. Could put our iron to the grindstone, so to speak.
I look forward to it.
So, how many dudes were you fighting just now? That was rather impressive to watch.
It was 3, and that is one of the many techniques that maybe even you will be interested in learning in the time we have. One of the many martial arts that I've learned is more focused on trying to, how would you say, mitigate risk. And in that form that I was showing them, even when you're surrounded, there is an opportunity to hold your ground and not be overwhelmed. Now, within reason, numbers will overpower you, but you need to know when those events happen and how you should properly respond to such attacks. There's nothing honorable about fighting a winless battle when you could live to fight another day, or there's a better tactic to be implemented.
Yeah, most of the time I just cut through all of them I can all at once.
And typically that is...
It's been effective so far, yeah. It works pretty well.
But you seek me out for something that cannot be cut through as easily.
Yeah, so I got this problem, you know. You know about the big lizard man, good old Ragnorium.
I have heard of this.
You haven't had the opportunity to see him yet?
Thankfully not in some regards. In other regards, almost interested in the challenge.
But coming from a Tet, you've seen the madness. You've seen the lizard folk take over. You know, imagine them about 3 times their size in every dimension, full of muscle and dark, chaotic insanity, and like swords that can do all kinds of things. And he's immune to mental attacks, and he's a real handful. He hits really hard, and he takes hits really well. He's tricky. I can't find his weak spots.
That is a most troublesome opponent. One sound in mind and body.
Well, I wouldn't say sound in mind. It's something, but I don't know if it's that.
Granted. Well, then our approach will be holistic in some regards, but we will need to be specialists in others to try and figure out a way to refine your strength so you can at least endure and last, or maybe try to defeat him before he even has a chance to get his momentum building.
Are you saying I should like stab him in the back while he's sleeping or something?
I wouldn't rule it out if this is the life-ending doom that it continues to be talked about. But in the same respect, I'm not sure how easy that would be, and it would be a waste to throw away your life trying to do an assassination mission if it would not produce the results needed. I'm also suggesting the idea of maybe you and your companions swarming him as soon as possible, if the opportunity arises in a trap we might set someday, and he doesn't get the chance to fight back. If he's such a colossus, then this would be in our interest to take him out as soon as possible, because then it becomes the longer it goes, the more likely he is to best us.
Yeah, that's true. And the more orbs he gets, the more potential power he has if he's able to actually harness them. But I don't know very many people who are capable of doing that. Just such raw power in one artifact is enough to destroy most people.
Maybe that's why he has not used them as of yet, as if he was harnessing their power and attacking the people of Atet, we would have seen mass destruction, as even unfamiliar with your culture's idiosyncrasies, we still have a basic knowledge of its religions. And from what I learned, and what you have expressed to many of the others, these are your most sacred artifacts with immense power. Why would someone causing so much destruction not utilize them at their earliest convenience? The answer must be they cannot use them.
Makes me wonder why he's going after them in the first place. You know, if his whole deal is just to sow discord, then there are plenty of other ways. Why waste your time on something that can't even do anything with? I don't know.
This is a good question to ponder. We can reflect upon such things over fists, as he now gestures you towards.
Speaking my language.
I will begin to take you through many of the martial arts of the Linryu, and over time, in these next couple of weeks, I will work towards... Thank you, Dad. I will work towards honing on specific skills that interest you the most to potentially strengthen. So let us begin. So Haru takes you through a multitude of training exercises, nothing against him per se, but he begins working you through just the agility, the strength of some of the most basic procedures of the Linryu. He starts talking to you a lot about the cultures of war, the strategies of war and attack. This is very much in kin to... as you are working out, is always a chance to teach you a new proverb, a new lesson, a new strategy to defeat your opponents. And it's not heavy-handed, and it's not always hidden behind nonsense. Like, it's not... When I say proverb, it's more like some of them are very simple ones that are very clear to the point, that reinforce these styles. So over these days, I would like... you to give me an intelligence check for the first one.
Oh, no. God.
To try and retain the strategies and knowledge that he is teaching you.
Oh, it's not great. It's an 8.
It's an 8. You struggle, Charnuk.
You know.
He knows this is your weak point. This is something that needs a lot of improvement. And it slows down your training journey right off the start, because these concepts don't stick with you. Multitude of occasions, you're like, so I hit it. And he's like, not yet.
Right. But I hit it then.
It's like, eventually, you do hit it, but we first need to know what's the best way to hit it.
Probably with my fist,
no.
if I had to guess.
No.
No? What?
So look here. If you hit it like this, it does significant damage. But if you hit it like this, as he then motions a different way, using a different technique, you can utilize your core strength to do more damage.
You just did the same thing twice. I don't understand what are you talking about?
So as this goes through him showing it and then doing it, and you're like, I don't... Oh. And as you're seeing, like, well, that does look like it's doing more damage, but it looks like you're doing the same thing. You're just deciding to hit harder. You're like, no, see, I'm utilizing this core, this muscle group, and you're like, I think I get it. And then you do it, and you just totally forget whatever the fuck you just said, and you just hit it harder.
I don't know why, but, I do it.
All right. Continuing at this slow pace, he goes, all right, let's take a moment to step back, as this is what I imagined would be the tougher part. That's why I want to introduce it, and then maybe we can continue to review it as things go on. Now I would like you to work on both your strength, which is something that is your benefit, and your endurance. Both of these skills are going to be absolutely necessary while you fight against this monstrosity. So you begin sparring with Haru, and he starts building up your endurance over time to try and keep up with him. Some of these spars last anywhere from like 5 to 6 hours long of continuous work, and that's what gets him to getting tired. You're trying to build up towards that, and you are struggling to begin, especially because your lack of picking up the concepts. These are long, hard days over many weeks that you're working on, and Haru has even taken an interest into this, as you weren't initially responsive, so he's making sure that he either gives you direction when he can be in town, or he's coming in town through local mages and casters from Freya to train you at night while he works.
He's giving me karate lessons. This is perfect.
To a degree. I need you to make a strength check.
Strength check, just straight strength?
Yeah.
Okay. That's better. That's going to be a 21.
Nice! And I need a constitution check as well.
That's going to be an 18.
Damn, very good. It appears that this is speaking your language more by action, more by endure and survive. Because of those rolls, you were so close. That's a combination of 39. It's painful. What was it was a 21, right? Or 23?
It's 21.
Oh, that hurts me. Lie to me, Zach. No, it's all right. Charnuk starts to get in the rhythm, and he starts to understand the raw athleticism and the strength that it is required to try and keep up with opponents of small size, opponents that are quick on their feet, opponents that are large. Literally has you fighting boulders at some points as you're like, this is dumb. And
this is a rock.
And it's just like, this is a rock. But as you will see, channeling your strength, you can make this whatever you want, even through the most difficult of forces. You can break through. As he's pointing to the individuals using their ki to like basically carve the rocks into like statues and shit. He's just like, that is not quite what we're looking for, but the idea is still the same, that they use their inner strength to overcome such obstacles like rock, like the earth in front of us. You told me that this Colossus is built quite like a rock. If you can destroy a rock, this will aid in your ability to destroy the Colossus.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
So as you work through this, and this is those roles, this is also encompassing all 5 months of work.
Right.
You get, because you rolled so well, a +2 to strength.
Whoa!
and a +1 to Constitution.
Nice, dude.
For
That's
Charnuk,
awesome.
from working with Harul and Ryu.
Okay. Wow, that's a big deal.
It is. This is tireless training. He works with you for the next 5 months. You are looking to build yourself better, so he works on weight training programs, on conditioning programs, on running. You have to continue to do your running, which you're not terrible at, but you slacked. You did not keep up with your cardio.
It is 100% boring.
It sure is. But he tries to liven it up with being on the defensive as you're running type of deal. So like you're running, and cardio also can be like boxing in that sense. So it's long fights, then you go run a mile, then he attacks you while you're running that mile. This is consistent with his training, and many of the, I'd say 2 or 3 of the Crane monks also aid in the training, especially when he's not there. Since he stayed here for so long, he familiarized himself with these monks, and he also issues some of the training to keep up on you when he can't be present. So they have also helped you with your training. And they continue to try and help you with your peace of mind. As you get into the next section of training, about 3 months in, they work on not being easily charmed. They try to work on strengthening your mind.
Right.
So I would need you to make I need a wisdom and an intelligence check. I know, these are going to be joyful for you.
This is, I rolled a nat 20 on the wisdom for a 21. That's
okay,
awesome.
What's the intelligence?
I got a -1 here, so let's see. It's a 10, so a 9.
It is so difficult for you to grasp these concepts, but you just give in to the learning. So even if you don't know why, you're just doing it.
Flood me with your knowledge, you nerds.
And this is this also translates into your strength training and your endurance training as well. I will say, for all wisdom saving throws through this training, you now get a +4 modifier addition.
So
that will help you resist anytime someone tries to take over your mind through those typical means of being charmed. Even though it's typically a charisma stuff, this is in the way of wisdom, in the way of the monastery.
So I will customize it so that it's saving throws against magic or +3. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Oh, you said it was a +4.
I said it was +4,
correct?
Yeah. I didn't know if you were somehow at a minus.
Nope.
Yeah, no, it's +4.
So now I have a +5 to wisdom saves. That's significant.
It sure is. Could be the difference.
Very well could be.
Okay. Got that. Yeah, that was a super suggest. Got that. Okay. So now the next bits are working with your handwork and your footwork and your ability to dodge multiple attacks against you, and your proficiency with following such projectiles. So he has you using your weapons of choice to try and knock these projectiles out of air to defend yourself. You start easy with like melons and other stuff like that, fruits and vegetables, but then they start amping it up to arrows. So this is where you're going, and he even demonstrates stuff like that, like redirecting and completely catching or breaking arrows as they are shot at him.
They're crazy.
I am disciplined. Give me a dexterity check.
17.
17. I would say because of the duration of training, you're going to get a +1 to your dex modifier.
Let's go.
So you are just barely getting past extreme proficiency. You're doing very well with all these.
Yes. I am like those normies.
And now, as you work with all that, I believe that'll probably be the majority of all these skill checks to enhance Charnuk over these 5 months. The strength also impacts your to hit, right?
Oh, yes.
So All that has molded you into a ripped machine ready for rumble down under to start kicking some dishes. You can do anything you want now. That is all the training I had prepared over the 5 months, was a variety of skill checks and ability checks to see how well you succeeded or failed that would impact an increase or decrease in ability scores, and they are significant because it's under this training and supervision of someone who's an expert like Haru Lin Ryu. To go past, because you're also still below 20s on a majority of everything, you might have just gone past 20 on something through the training.
I just got to 20 on my strength.
That is also why these things are able to be trained as an individual who does have proficiencies higher than 20 in all these skills. This also reinforces it. As you continue to climb, upgrading Charnuk, if you choose to, down these paths, it becomes much more difficult to add one more point to strength, as a point of reference.
Right. Good to know.
Certainly.
Well, I think now that my vessel is ready for this supreme violence that is to come,
yes,
I need to find a good instrument to conduct my violence with.
I would agree.
This jagged greatsword has brought me many good things over the years, but perhaps I need to find something specialized, legendary.
Sure.
I feel like something that stings him a little bit more, just something. I don't know. He's a tough nut to crack, and I need the right tool.
I would agree.
Or if there was a potion I could give it, or something I could, I don't know, any kind of thing that would make him vulnerable for a minute that we can capitalize on. Something to weaken him, drop his defenses, just a small way other than just beating our heads against the wall, trying to kill ourselves, killing this guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, of mythical and legendary weapons, I do not have any to give, but I'm certain you could ask around to see if there's any ruins or dungeons or individuals willing to sell their legendary artifacts to aid in that respect. Potion-wise, we do have some potions that may be of help. I am unsure, though, what his resistances or immunities might be to such potions, but we do have poisons, paralysis potions, and we have been working on one of vulnerability to specific. So we'd use it depending on what is mixed into our alchemical concoction. It may make a creature more vulnerable to fire or more vulnerable to a certain type of attack. These are all options.
Is there anything that can make him vulnerable to cut?
Strong hands, strong weapons makes him very vulnerable to cut.
That's true. You make good points. All right. Well, I think making him vulnerable to anything would be good. I can let the smart people figure out what to do with it. In the meantime, I could probably ask around. I'll put an ad out in the paper, see if there are any old adventurers who are willing to part with their sweet loot. And, I could take a hike or something, try and find some old abandoned caves and see if there's anything good in there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Haru, I would say, is happy to give you these potions. There's one potion of paralysis, one potion of poison, and one potion of vulnerability to fire damage. You can just write these down for now in your notes. I didn't make them special or
anything. So, fire, paralysis, and what was the other one? Fire, paralysis, and poison. I'm sure he doesn't have immunity to that. This will help. Thank you for everything that you've done. My muscles are much more defined now. This will make for great headshots. Thank you.
My best wishes to you, Charnuk. Hopefully we'll be on the battlefield soon, all of us defeating such a colossus and restoring peace to the land.
Absolutely. There's vengeance to be had for both you and I, I'm sure.
My home is but ashes, what it once was, thanks to the madness that has been spread by his evil.
Small world.
He gives you the old forearm handshake and sends you on your way as he returns to his business in Freya. You want to put an ad out?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Be a gold piece for a couple weeks worth of ad.
Can I, I'm so rich. Can I put 20 gold pieces down to make it the boldest, most abundantly clear ad? Like, it is the newspaper now. The newspaper is just my ad.
You absolutely, on the ad page, dominate the spread. Do you have an artist or anybody try and make up an ad for you, or you do it yourself?
Do it myself.
Yes,
Strong man need good sword.
All right. Anything else to that? Pay top dollar or anything?
We'll pay top dollar and save world.
Okay.
Legendary weapons, or better, serious inquiries only.
Roll an investigation check.
Let's see. Well, that's really good. That's a 21.
Holy shit. Give me a percentage die.
A percentage die?
Yeah, see, the ad is good, but does it work?
It's a 38%.
Oof. You gotta have luck on your side for the right person at the right time to see it.
Dang it.
What exactly are you looking for, weapon-wise, as my DM to you? No promise you'll get anything like it, but I'm just trying to gauge what the idea is here.
The obvious one is always something that adds a bunch of extra magical damage. That's like the old 3d10 force damage on top of your hit is always nice. But if there's anything that grants, yeah, that's a real thing. If there's anything that grants, like, I don't know, like the more I hit him, the more tired he gets, or like anything that's, gonna take something that might take away like the magical advantages he has. I like the illusory things that he can do, and like all the tiny little tricks that he has, like something that might dispel some of that. I don't know. There are many ways that it can be approached, but I'm open to any kickassery that you can think of.
Okay. Do you have brutal crits?
I don't think so yet. Oh, yeah, yes, I do. I do have brutal crits. I have 2 brutal crit die.
All right.
Doesn't happen very often, but.
Don't I make fingerprints over here? All right, well, I'll think about it.
I could always go talk to Volo. Volo is a legendary adventurer.
Yeah, you can definitely go talk to him. As you pull the ad out, I mean, you are getting responses, but most of them are for rare items at the moment.
This is peasant stuff. You come into my house and offer me this nonsense? I can do that more than this thing can do with one bicep. Get out! Oh,
that's beautiful. Okay. I'm just perusing options and seeing how you could or couldn't get into it all. How you could come across these. Okay, so you go and see Volo.
Volo. I am in dire need of your help.
Nothing is wrong with the house, right?
No.
Oh, yes, I'm happy to help.
My God, has it really been that long since we've talked to you that you're still concerned about that? You know that we turned the house into a bar. That's why this place is like a ghost town, right?
Yes, I know. I was just always worried something might be, Never mind, but that's why I should visit you more often. That's great to hear. I'm happy to hear this. My ghost book is not going well. It's been 5 years and next to no ghosts, so I've backed to the trail to refine more monsters. The good news is this madness bit is quite a lot to add. A lot of new entries, a lot of new excitement. Doing my best to try and research that, try not to get too close, don't want to get the disease and all that.
You know, there's a ghost that lives in my house. If you wanna talk to him, you talk to Liv. He's a nice guy.
That's why I bought the place, was to talk to the ghost. There were no ghosts there.
Yeah, no, there's a ghost there. He's a waiter. He's really nice. His name's Liv. Oh. That's why it's called, Liv's Place. That's
was he hiding from me?
I mean, when was the last time you were there? Can you see him?
5 years ago. I was.
Well, dude. He was an apparition then. Now that we've given him the attention that he deserves, he's one of our employees. We have him on payroll. Oh, you can talk to him.
He takes out his planner that is a mess. There's like mud on it, and you can see all like basically the equivalent of sticky notes sticking all out the sides. You see him drop that shit down, open it up. I will happily stop by, and maybe this will be the spark I need for that new book. Exciting news.
He's got some pretty interesting knowledge. He was around, from what we understand, before the collapse.
A man of culture. This is generous and amazing news. What can I do for you? You've given me so much already.
You, although being a legendary adventurer, surely very seasoned in all your times, have traveled with many a powerful warrior, I'm sure, that are possibly retired. No?
Yes, very much so.
Do you know of anyone who may be willing to part ways with a weapon that could help me save the world?
Oh, roads are tough to come by, and I sold off most of my wealth trying to fund my books that aren't going so well, but I wouldn't be surprised if some of the old faceless lords of Waterdeep, many of them like to procure. I believe I even sold one of my rarer weapons to them many years ago. Typically, these faceless lords auction these off or are happy to, just display them and never use them. If you could find one of them, or maybe call in favors of friends to try and put an ad out in the paper for such a thing. And also you see him look, he clicks and he looks over and you just see all the Charnuk ads of all the people holding papers inside the room right now. There's also like on the dartboard your stupid fucking face and a bunch of darts on it because people are sick of seeing the fucking ad.
Rude.
It's not done with a malicious intent. It's just
they'll thank me when the world is safe.
That might be a place to start.
Right. I could probably get an audience with Miss Silverhand. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put my feelers out. Do you have any specific names of any particularly incredible warriors that I could talk to you to get on a specific scent instead of having a smorgasbord of useless stuff that I don't know what to do with,
Most of the warriors are dead that I used to know. As he looks out, just old and fat, and just sitting at the table here with his like gigantic entree of food that's half eaten in front of him at this table in the yawning portal. I mean, most of the stuff is either lost to the world in ruins, which I wouldn't quite recommend that, because that can be a dangerous lot, though for you, maybe not so dangerous.
There's a big old portal. Really?
There is. I mean, that is the dungeon of the Mad Mage, as they so say, but he is awfully angry lately. It seems like one of the latest adventurers down there pissed him off quite well. I don't understand why, and he's upped his, game quite a bit down there to prevent intruders from getting further than they're normally meant to.
So probably not smart to go in there.
I mean, it's never been that smart to go in there, but people go in and very few, actually I've never seen one come out, but the few that do come out that I hear about and never see without last names, they are the individuals that come back with some plunder.
Let me talk to L'Oreal first.
Yeah, I would ask friends first. That's my way about it anyway. If I could get a story without actually having to go deep into the swamps to see some of the monsters, that was the preference.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you lots of stories later for all the good that you just done me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You could stop by our bar. I'm there all the time. I could chat you up about all the monsters that I beat up. I'm really good at that.
That would be extremely helpful. You know what? You'll see more of me, Charnuk. I appreciate this. You've made an old man very happy.
That's great. If I have one mission in the world, it's to make old people happy. That's what my character is all about.
This, homeless-looking individual leans over and he's like, "You got a piece of gold, then?"
Get away from me, you swine!
Teeth. You could smell the alcohol on his breath.
Okay. I guess I will go talk to L'Oreal to see if I can see the collections of any of the Faceless Lords and possibly make a trade.
Okay. It takes about 3.5 weeks to get a meeting with L'Oreal for something like this.
Right.
It does come.
It's trivial.
Volo, you also got the interpretation that he's basically a guy that's lost his entire fortune and he's an old man right now that was scared that he sold you a bum house and didn't want to be caught selling a bum house because he needed the money.
Oh, buddy.
But now he's trying to get back on his feet, and this has been an invitation for him to get back on his feet with you. L'Oreal sees you, Charnuk, and welcomes you in. Welcome, Charnuk. I hear you have a query for new weaponry.
That's correct. I have been honing my physical abilities, and as great as my custom-made Atom of the West sword is, for taking down something like Ragnorium, it's proven to be a little bit insufficient. So I talked with Volo, and he said that a lot of the old, retired, legendary adventurers of the time, their weapons get raffled off amongst the Faceless Lords. Mm-hmm. So perhaps they would be willing to trade one such an item for an item with a fresher legacy. Something that's been used to slay Tyrannosaurus Rexes and fight against the greatest evils of our time.
This sounds like a fair proposition. Give me a persuasion check, not for L'Oreal, but with the sword. Just a persuasion check.
That's gonna be 23.
Wow! Wow! The DC was set lower because it is exactly as you said, an artifact that many collectors would want at this time. That is persuasive.
I love it when I make a good argument and the roll actually works out.
Wow! Yeah, geez. So, you actually have a multitude of offers for trade and money. So it's they're looking for about few thousand gold pieces, depending on what it is. Can you afford a few thousand gold pieces?
I can afford 1,600 gold. Wait, that's platinum. Yes, I can.
So it's looking about 2,000 gold pieces, in addition to any trades for these swords. One of the first ones is the Vorpal Longsword. You gain +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, the weapon ignores resistances to slashing damage. When you attack a creature that has at least one head with this weapon, roll a 20 on the attack roll. You cut it off one of the creature's heads. The creature dies if it can't survive without a lost head. A creature immune to this effect, if it is immune to slashing damage, doesn't have a head, doesn't have or need a head, has legendary actions, or the GM decides the creature's too big for its head to be cut off with the weapon, Such a creature instead takes on a crit an extra 6d8 slashing damage. So on a crit with this sword, you would get your brutal crits, you would get 6d8, and you ignore resistances to slashing, and that's all those dice are doubled. So on a crit, it would technically be 12d8 plus your brutal crit dice doubled.
That's 2 fireballs. Now, is this specifically on the roll of a 20, or is this on a crit? Okay.
It's specifically on a roll of a 20. You will get the extra 6d8 slashing damage. Okay.
I mean, that's still really good.
Yeah.
Plus, it's like a legendary weapon as is.
It's a magic weapon, plus 3 bonus that ignores resistance to slashing damage. So those are all the normal benefits. And then it has a nuke option, basically, if you roll a 20.
That is incredible. Are there other options?
Yep. With that roll, you certainly do.
I mean, I'm most likely going to take that unless there's something absolutely incredible to beat that.
Oh, no, definitely not that one. Fuck that. I saw the sword can use the wish spell. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I wish Ragnorium was dead.
Fuck, my only weakness. Wishes. Children's wishes.
Got him, idiot. Hallister, why didn't you do that?
The Defender Longsword, you gain +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. The first time you attack with the sword on each of your turns, you can transfer some or all of the sword's bonus to your armor class instead of using the bonus on any attack that turn. For example, you could reduce the bonus on your attack and damage rolls to +1 and gain +2 bonus to AC. The Justice bonuses remain in effect until the start of your next turn, although you must hold the sword to gain the bonus of AC from it. So you have like +8 to attack?
I got +12, homie.
You could, in essence, take +0 to attack and up your AC for a turn to +12 with that legendary sword. And this also gives a +3 to bonus attack, so that might even be more. That's the Defender's Longsword.
Defender, or am I cutting Ragnar's head off?
I'll give you those two because both of those are excellent options. So those are your 2 weapons that you can get on this journey.
I think I like the Vorpal Greatsword. This will do very well.
It is in D&D Beyond, so that's the great news. You can just add it right up, and that is...
And I'm selling out of the US Vicious Greatsword for this.
Yep. And you also should take 2,000 gold pieces out of your inventory as well. You lose the sword at 2,000, and now you have quite an upgrade.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Charnuk is a ready-to-fight boy. He won't need it.
I'm so ready. Who's the? I don't know the name, but I'm assuming this is kind of like in the mail type of interaction.
100%.
Like I don't get to identify.
Just like thrown on your front porch.
Oh, goody!
Yeah,
it finally came.
It's like
God
Amazon.
damn it, the package is dented.
Yeah. And it just sort of shows up because the faceless lords are turds and can be. And you see the sword as you take it out. It is different from your style in the sense that it looks. Actually, let me see. I'm curious if anybody else has had an artist rendition of it.
Oh, I'm sure somebody has.
Yeah, let me see. Have they made a rendition before I change mine? Oh, I see. Yep, there is a look of it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, that's dope, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly how it looks. I like that. Yeah, you get to see that beautiful orange/crimson blade inlined with runes with the grays inside of it. You can clearly see great smith and craftsman work was on here. Showing this to Shalmir, you can bring this up to him as well. This does look like the works of the dwarven enchanters in Karstool. did impact making this sword at one point. So you can bring that up to him at some point. Luke would love to roleplay that with you.
I will do that. I'm going to keep this a secret as long as I can. Tellius is going to be so jealous.
Yeah, I think he should be. This is quite a gorgeous sword, and it is something of extreme legend. And the sword that you used was of such power. Your persuasion was so wow. You just got your Act 3 super weapon.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
Dope. So I think Charnuk might have lucked out the most with his upgrade quest this time. A lot of high rolls, a lot of good. That persuasion check, man. You were looking at like rare or maybe even a little higher, but you killed it. You made a great argument, and then 23? Fuck.
That was good, man. That was good. Sometimes you just look happy.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do before we wrap up?
All right, let me think. I got buff. I got a super good sword. I'm totally ready for some lizard killing. Let's see. I guess I will go home and take a nap.
Terrific. And that will end our journey with Charnuk of 5 months of extreme conditioning with Harlan Ryu and bartering with the Faceless Lords with the sword to get a legendary sword upgrade from a previous adventurer. The sword crafted by the dwarves and cursed tools, so maybe there's a fun story behind that at some point to pursue. Cool.
I'm excited.
Welcome to another side quest of Dungeons and Dungeons. This time we're with Tyrian. This will take place in a weird pocket of time that is before the centennial we just had and potentially after, depending on how much time passes and how the rules go with some of the stuff. Because you're working with Blackstaff, and it wouldn't make sense if you make breakthroughs that you don't bring up. So that is why this will go as best it can. It will fit to the timeline accordingly, so we don't have any canonical issues. But stepping back through time, this is what you were working on in those 5 months before the centennial meeting we just got with, was training with Blackstaff at the suggestion of Kolveth to you, that that power you felt and researched with Tyra, you have since never felt anything like it, despite any tries you've had to bring it out and any tries Kolveth has tried to bring it out with you so far. So he figured your best bet was to go talk to Blackstaff, work with her, see if she will help you continue to grow your powers, and then you guys can maybe figure out how such an event occurred. So that's where we'll begin with you right now, is Tyrian inside your home inside Waterdeep. And you already have the blessings of Blackstaff at this point, if you want to move forward with this, to train with Blackstaff and learn magic with the Blackstaff. It's up to you to go seek her out and confirm that you want to do this. Still.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident about going to do this. Right?
As you see Kolveth opposite you, just like, this is no question. Tyrian, think about this. Think of this. Between you and me, Blackstaff's like what? One of the 5 best spellcasters in the entire world that we know of, maybe. And she's given you an opportunity to learn everything from her. Now, with that, I say, maybe, long road here, looking down the road, maybe Blackstaff becomes yours when she has to retire someday. I mean, that's just a natural line of progression of things. If you give her the wows and she and if we don't hit that home run, we'll figure out what our name in the stars will be and where exactly that lines up. It's going to, if it's not that, then maybe you and her are going to find some ancient spell that is going to be, it doesn't matter, whatever it's going to be. This is the opportunity you don't throw away. This is not one it's going to let slip away from us, Tyrian. I have a good feeling about this one.
It's just I don't know, it's daunting. She's the Blackstaff. I'm just me.
Yes, you are. But someday the roles will be reversed. I'm confident Blackstaff will be like, can you believe I once taught him the great sorcerer Tyrian. Greatest sorcerer Tyrian.
Oh, grandiose.
That is our future, Tyrian. I've seen it. I have foreseen it, and this is just a stepping stone for us. And I'm sure Blackstaff won't be too hard on you. And you're such a quick learner, you'll pick up on things in no time. It'll be a breeze.
Okay.
That's what I like to hear! Conviction! Up you go. As he picks you up and starts pushing you out the door.
I will make my way.
Excellent. You travel your way to Blackstaff's little castle, her tower, and as she meets you in the reception area with a friendly greeting, Tyrian, it's so good to see you. So have you had time to consider that offer?
Yeah. I think the answer is yes. It's yes.
That is wonderful news. Well, I opened my schedule today in case it was a yes, so if you would like to begin our training, I can take you to that right now.
Sure, yeah. Let's go.
Wonderful. As she grabs her hand around your shoulder, and with that, the two of you teleport into this private layer that she has, where as you enter in, you see this like wide open arena, and inside are all the different, like, there's these mosaics on the walls, and they're all glass, and each of them have a representation of each of the schools of magic on them. So each one has the insignia of like divination or transmutation all the way around inside this area. As you guys find your feet on the ground, it is different sections of it are like, some of it's dirt, some of it's grass in different areas, some of it's stone. It seems even the makeup of this area is that of a very clear practice pit. You can see all sorts of arcane remnants from maybe attacks or experiments inside here. And Vera looks to you and she goes, "This is what my master first brought me to when we began our training. This is a tradition passed down from Blackstaff to Blackstaff, with any pupils that they may mentor, not just those next in line for the Blackstaff. We have had the pleasure of creating such a wonderful area of pure investigation, of learning where magic can go and how to push the boundaries of the beauty of each of our schools of magic. And in here, we can shape the world around us. It is similar to what the Chosen's Ralia does when she enters a dream and she can control it. This is very much a similar dimension to that same magic. I can help shape this world around us and give us the tools to practice, but the practice is very real. We do not die inside this dimension, as the magic may be real, but the way it works is if we are to harm ourselves, there are spells in place to make sure we are instantly stabilized. This gives a lot more freedom for us to truly expand our skills in the arcane.
Okay. That sounds optimistic. A little concerning, but optimistic.
Oh, you have no idea how many times I would have died with my last master. It was a time. You can see her just general excitement, though, being inside here. This is clearly a place of reverence for her. She goes, "Okay, so I put together a..." Wow, I forgot the name of what we call school tracks. When you're on a track in school for different courses.
Like a major?
Yeah, similar to that, but it's not schedule. It's not an outline. Oh man, I had the word and just blanked me.
Syllabus?
Sort of, right? She didn't put quite together a syllabus, but it's very much like a track, like, regardless, we're going to start here and we're going to build upon it. The first thing I want to try and do is work on your inherent magic. So first, I like to see everything you are capable of.
Okay. Well, you've already seen the one newer ability that I picked up. I thought I should start expanding a little bit from just the big explosions that I typically do.
As effective as they are, they can be a hindrance in certain circumstances.
Yes. Let's see. So in place of casting that, is it just like a blank room completely?
Right now, yes.
Is there any way that am I able to bring anything in this room just to like for effectiveness sake? Or do I have to ask you about it?
You ask me first, but in time you will be able to have control over the room.
Okay. If just for showcasing, maybe like a small pedestal with like a vase on it.
Absolutely. And at this, you see the Black Staff push her hand out, and out of the ground, you see the basically like out of clay, it forms exactly a beautiful pedestal and a pot on it. But then as it's all brown, the colors fade into like the actual object. So the pedestal is white, and then you actually can see artistry on the pot. So the real image comes after it forms.
Oh, that's unfortunate. As I pointed it and I cast Disintegrate.
Yeah! It is not unfortunate whatsoever. It doesn't make it safe. As it is utterly disintegrated.
Yeah, I think Disintegrate, if it hits like objects, I mean, it does the damage for sake of like reinforced items, but in just general, it just does like destroys areas.
So as you cast your beam and the laser goes through and just causes this pot to go to dust, Blackstaff smiles and goes, "Excellent. What else you got?"
Let's see. I will wave my hands in front of me. A spark travels down in a line across the ground, and then up roars a wall of fire. I will drop that. Do you think you could make a large beast of some sort?
Certainly. As she waves her hand, you see this big golem-like creature form out of the clay and then solidify into all different browns and grays in the eyes, and you can see it start moving, and it's actually functioning right now. It's moving side to side, but it's not aggressive yet.
I'm going to look at it, swing my finger, my hand, and cast Hold Monster on it.
All right. For the sake of training right now, it auto fails.
And so, as I've described before, like tendrils of fiery magic come up and just wrap it around and restrain it.
She looked, wonderful. I have seen many different interpretations of this spell, but this is one of the most creative. As the fire chains hold the golem in motion, you see it sort of struggling, but it's almost like Super Smash Brothers training mode.
Yeah.
What's going on? Yeah.
And then, while it's there, I will drop the chains. I will point my finger out, and just a small bead of red energy flies out and sticks to its chest.
She takes instinctually. She takes 2 steps back.
I'm gonna step with her. And I'm just like, all right, just wait a moment. And we wait the full minute.
As you guys are waiting, you see in front of you, like this crystal wall start coming in front of you guys, and you can see through it, but it gets above your height as she's listening to you, and she's like, mm-hmm. And then finally, when it finishes its full minute, it goes off.
It goes off, and how much is it again? It's so it lasts for up to a minute, so 10 rounds. So that is 22 d6.
As it goes off and the fire goes all around the arena, where you would think this would totally blow out the glass, it harmlessly touches the surface of the glass and then is redirected back up toward the top. And as it comes towards you guys, it is parted at the glass wall around you. And
just
the golem
theoretically,
itself,
that would have done 93 fire damage.
That's beautiful. The golem is just hollowed out now where its face was and where you put the bead in the chest. You can see how it's hollow. It looks like it was basically a clay pot that was just opened up, and it slowly turns brown again all the way around as it then collapses back into the ground after the attack.
So those are probably my stronger. I've got a variety of others. I can remove magics. I can do a much more subdued version. I'll just cast a second level Agnazar's Scorcher, so a line of fire goes out. Cast shield, detect magic.
Absolutely. She basically she runs you through every spell in your arsenal, and what you notice is you can keep casting spells.
Oh. So I'm not losing spell slot, essentially.
If she notices you start to catch on to this, and she goes, inside here, we've created a place that continuously refills your spell slots and your energy. So you can test all you want.
That is incredible.
It is one of our most proud accomplishments of magic.
I mean, in general, unfortunately, I'm limited. I'm not in the same vein as a wizard. I don't gain as large of a repertoire of spells, but these ones always stick with me.
You see her nodding. She goes, "It is nothing to apologize for. That is why we're here, as I hope to add a few more spells to your arsenal through training and knowledge." This is... Stop, Siri. Go away. I didn't even say your name. Jeez. I don't know. Really? Anyway.
What even in that sentence was close?
I don't know. It's on my laptop. I don't know. I can't disable it, so it's annoying. I disable it everything else, but Mac's annoying. Anyway, as some strange force distracted Vera. Nothing to be apologizing for. This is absolutely wondrous to see where you're starting out with your magic. And by starting out, you are by far one of the most proficient and intelligent users of the arcane that I've ever had the pleasure of starting my training with. So, what I want us to do is we're going to try a bunch of spells that I think will help and aid you. But first off, we'll start small, and we will continue to work on these spells. And once we have a breakthrough in one spell, we'll move on to the next one. And we'll do this over the course of the next couple of days. This will consist of us practicing the spell, researching the spell, understanding what the spell is, and again, further practice. So there will be some reading, there will be some lecture, and there will be a lot of applied work.
Well, I will do my best.
At this, you can see like a certain part of this area forms an area that is a certain part of the training center, I'll call it for right now. It's more like a training tower. Forms an entirety of a library in one section where all these comfy chairs, books, scrolls, and everything are formed out in one section. And another is an area where arcane runes and all different types of parchments, drawings, and blackboard are laid out against the wall to go over different sequences of spells and the construction of runes. And there's a multitude, like college boards, blackboards do, where many of them are pushed over and up, and you can continue to do that to get more space. And some of them are actively used with a bunch of different advanced arcane theorems on there. And then the other sections still remain open for different types of like practice dummies come up, and you can see practice like things to explode, things to enhance powers, all these different sections like wells and waters, pots, again, the dummies, weapons, metals, all these different things to be tested against or with. Fill out the room, and now it looks from this complete emptiness to a more homey, wizardly feel all the way encompasses you. The first thing that Blackstaff is going to work with you on is Burning Hands. The spell Burning Hands. I need you.
I actually already had that spell previously.
I know.
Okay.
But with that, with Burning Hands.
So when she brings it up, I would probably be like, "Oh, I'm actually familiar with this spell. I used to know it, but I had to relinquish my knowledge to cast it in order to make room for some other abilities."
Well, it is my hope that we can add it to your repertoire again without having the limitations of your current magic. She begins going through it with you again, and since you're a quick learn, since you've already had it, I'd like you to roll an Arcana check with advantage as you guys spend the next few days working through this.
Ooh. That was helpful. I got a natural 20 for a 25 on my Scanlan dice.
Well, with great success and speed, your familiarity helps you blow through the teachings, the lectures, and the demonstrations with it. As you see her using this magic and then encouraging you to do the same, you find yourself being able to manipulate the fires that you're so familiar with into the burning magic spell. And with that 25 over the course of the first few days, you now have Burning Hands as a cantrip permanently. I don't know. I didn't do it yet because I don't want to mess anything up, but I don't know how you add this in D&D Beyond. So this is an addition to everything else. So it's not your warlock shit. This isn't like I got to give up sorcerer shit. This is, you now know this permanently because a amazing wizard taught you how to do this over a duration of time.
Let's see. Ooh, okay. So there might be a way to do it by adding the spell, like in order to do what I gain from this.
Yes.
We might be able to add it as a homebrew feat that adds it to my spell list.
That is what I was suspecting, or an item. But I didn't know which one I was going to build yet, and I didn't feel like spending all this time building it because I don't know which spells you're going to be successful or not.
Okay, so I will just write down.
For right now, yeah. So this is where pen and paper D&D is way better. And this is I can just tell you, and you're just like, oh yes, I can do this now because I have my own pool. And from now on, you'll have that until we get it all set up mechanically where it works fine in D&D.
And I assume it'll be the base damage as a cantrip.
Yes, that's the point of this. It's a feat for a sorcerer to be able to cast this as a cantrip in addition to the limitations they have to their power. So literally a feat would make the most sense for this to work. But this is part of your growth and your arcane and magical skill working with the Blackstaff. And you blew the first one out of the water.
All right.
After the first few days, Blackstaff is thrilled, and you can see a general excitement every time you guys begin your sessions. There's something that you feel an excitement towards as well, because like you said, you were worried this was going to be hard, and it came easy to you, and you started in a place that really just like built that confidence, and you're like, I just learned a new spell permanently, like a wizard. This is exciting. So when you come in by the end of the next week, as she gives you time to cool off and understand everything that's going on.
And I'm sure there's probably not as much time for actually hands-on work because of her schedule.
Yes, exactly. So it's not like everyday training. It's like whenever you guys get a moment, like 3 to 4 times a week, she makes time. Only like 2 of those are lengthy durations of like 3 to 5 hours intensive, and other times they're brief, and you're almost like, no, stop. Let's keep going. I like how much magic there is here. How not tired I get.
Yeah.
I'll make a quick note of something. All right. So next, Blackstaff goes to you and explains. Next, I see you've already made great strides with teleportation and movement. I think it is something that is essential to a competent caster's arsenal, is the ability to move yourself out and about. If you've had any encounters with Mansoon, he is a master of this. He is able to teleport at will. His movement speed is frankly amazing. It is, with many mages are envious of the magical abilities he has accomplished, putting aside all of his heinous actions and utterly detestable personality. You cannot deny he is a master of the arcane, and many have tried to study after his magic. With knowing that, Mansoon has done a disservice to our community, as he has tried to hide and hoard as much information of the arcane to himself. But what I want to teach you is what is free knowledge, and I think would be extremely helpful for you to get around. So, I want you to first... drop something, give me this. Sorry. Watch as I do first. And you see the Blackstaff take one step into the air, and then another one as she's levitating a bit, and then you see her just disappear and appear about 30 feet in front of where she once was, and you see this like mist to come off her as it's still in the air, and then slowly comes down to the ground. She comes up, she then looks back to you and does it back, and she's by your side, and she goes, "This is a spell I'm sure you're familiar with. It is called Misty Step, and I am going to try to teach you how to use this to your advantage in the both offensive and defensive circumstances." So Blackstaff walks you through the ways that you can use this spell to gain advantage against casters, to get out of their sight for many spells, to defensively or offensively get around them for the sense of surprise. You guys work through some lectures, and you work through how the School of Magic, how it works, and how the arcane symbol was assembled. This takes a lot longer than the Burning Hands, and as it takes 2 to 3 weeks to work through this one, and you start trying it, give me some Arcana checks. I'm gonna need, let's see, it's not just Arcana though. I need a Wisdom check, an Arcana check, and an Intelligence check.
Okay. So do you want it in that order?
No, give me a second.
Okay.
I gotta get D&D Beyond up so I can see them. The first one's gonna be Wisdom. It's gonna be a Wisdom check for you to be feeling out the spell, trying to understand how to do it on your own.
That is an 18.
With the teleport spell, it's like mini teleports, but it's not the same feeling how your entire body feels that pull through like space and time to different places. Instead, it's this more gentle movement around. And as like weeks are going on with this, even Colvith is like, oh, I love that one. That's my favorite way to get around, is basically what you're doing is a Misty Step, but it has no taste like mine. As you see him disappear and then come back in the room and all these like dark flames come out, but they're harmless. It's completely like illusionary and aesthetic. And he's just like, oh, see now what? And he goes out and he comes back in and you're just like, at first you're just like, uh-huh. But then as he keeps doing it, you're like slowly picking up on stuff and you're like, I'm not going to let him know about this, but oh, look, he does got a point. I am saying some shit here. And it's like, you are a pretty good caster, you little shit. As he is anything but humble in his displays of it, as you are discussed with him at night many times after you get done training with Blackstaff. The two of you go back and forth as he's picking your brain and making sure to refine your magical abilities, as you see just grins on his face. He's like, oh, this reminds me of just the damnedest times I had back home with my friends. We would do all sorts of exploration for spells and try and figure out the depths of our strength. All that when we were trying to, not do our jobs, because that was such a downer, all it is punish those and eternal damnation and all of that. It's fucking boring. That stuff is so drab. There's so much more out there. The excitement. That's why, back then when I saw such a beautiful myriad of magic in front of me, I had to reach out, and then here I was with you forever. But that's okay, because it worked out much better. Much better. More interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
So after the wisdom, I now need, you did all that, so then I need you to do an Arcana check for me.
Ooh. 23.
Oh, shit! You are finding almost a calling within this place, within this training, to see what of expanse of knowledge there is, and to see how it enhances and hones in your abilities, starts to give you that rush that you felt when Tyra helped you call down that higher level spell. It continues to get your blood flowing, and this excites you in a way that it makes Tyrian want to continue to pursue learning magic and enhancing his abilities to become the best caster he can be, because it's coming so easy. All your powers always came naturally to you, but in this respect, it's like working at it doesn't feel like work right now. It feels like you're just becoming better every day at everything you're doing, and it's a great excitement. So the last one is an intelligence check, really trying to figure out your mastery of a Misty Step, as Blackstaff is cheering you on as you are now demonstrating your ability to use Misty Step.
Fuck yeah. 18.
Nice. By the end of about a month's time with working with Misty Step, you find yourself a master at it, and you may now cast Misty Step as a first level spell whenever you want.
All right. Hell yeah. And just for flavor,
yes,
my Misty Step is instead of mist, it's like smoldering embers.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I love it. Blackstaff then gets to this point with you, and she goes, "Okay, I wanted to start with something that you would always have access to, and something that would be very important to your mobility. Now, I would like to refine your strength with something new. I have been working with the monks of the Lin Ryu and the Crane Monastery inside Waterdeep, and I listened quite intently and researched deeply on my own time the depths of their control of arcane fire. In collaborating with many of my mages and the Grey Hand inside the research and development portion, we are quite confident that we have crafted a hybrid spell for you that you could add to your arsenal with enough practice. I myself had to master it first before I could train you. So watch as follows." And you see 3 things come out of the ground, and they're just like basically dummies of outlines. And the black staff breathes deeply as she has her staff to her side and lays out her hand. Her hair goes up on end, and out of her hand, you see this bolt of fire shoot out and hit the first target, and then you see it chain onto the other 2 targets. And they all explode onto fire, and then as they're burning, they lower. She looks to you and goes, "This will take much longer to try to master, as it is a much more difficult spell. But this is something I think of great importance to you. It is a variant of what Torleaf uses often, of chain lightning. We have developed one for chain fire for you, Tyrian, because that would be best used because of your mastery over the element." You guys are now beginning a very long and arduous process of learning this spell. So it went like, first week, nice. 3 to 4 weeks, nice. Like 4 months on this one. So I would like, again, a wisdom check at advantage because of fire, because of your expertise in fire. Your proficiency.
Wisdom, you said?
Yes, this is the first one.
Okay. Alright, this one is a 14.
Okay. This is the first roadblock you've started to hit. And this is why it starts going for months, as it's such a different spell. And it's such a powerful spell, too. Your sorcerer background itself is like butting heads with trying to add something so powerful to your arsenal. Like, your body itself is like, you only have certain bounds in which you can operate in, and you're trying to push those. You got to get rid of something else. And as those long days go on at night, Kolveth is like, "You don't listen to those. You are bound by nothing. No rules apply to us. This is just a little bump in the road. I have the utmost faith in you. I've got your back on this." And especially, too, on some of the days when you feel yourself extremely tired, even Kolveth is like giving you extra energy and strength to get you through his days. He's like life leeching his own shit into you to be like, go get out there, go back to the Blackstaff. As he's like at home, he's like, this kid's gonna be the death of me. Now I need an Arcana check.
Yes, I'm on fire tonight.
Ooh.
This one is a 24.
Oh, it's like, it finally clicked. A learning curve hit right at the right time when even Blackstaff was starting to show concern that maybe this spell wasn't right for you, or maybe she didn't craft it right, or she doesn't quite have the mastery for it, and then it just finally locks in when you get your first like split chain fire shot out. This firebolt hits 3 of them, and they ignite for a brief period. You're doused in sweat. You're holding it out there. You're in immense focus, and then it goes away like in a brief second. You get it for like boop, a little bit, but you're
yeah,
you got it.
It's instantaneous spell.
And you see Blackstaff being like, "Oh, I saw that! I saw that!" And the excitement is there. So the final one is an intelligence check.
All right, this one is my harder one.
Mm-hmm.
Still doing well. 8 or 17.
17. So you learn this spell after all this time and the many months that go by. You learn it at a 7th level, Chain Fire. It functions exactly as Chain Lightning, but instead it's Chain Fire. Because of your good rolls, you do get the 3 targets. You would lose targets if you rolled poorly, and it would be a lower spell if you rolled better on some of your checks. So you could actually cost it for a lesser cost. It now can only be cost as a 7th, 8th, or 9th level spell.
Okay.
And I believe there might be a reduction in damage because it's part of this list that is all known. Could you read me Chain Lightning? I don't have
So
it.
Chain Lightning is a 6th level.
Yes.
And it does 10d8.
10d8. No, that's fine.
And then each level above it does an additional bolt.
That was the caveat I had with this. So because you're learning this spell, it does not go up in damage when you cast it at higher levels because of your rolls.
Yeah.
And I would say you don't get an additional. It's stuck at 3. You don't get additional only based on the wisdom.
So basically, it's useless to cast it above the level.
Yes. So it's basically if you want to cast it, but you're out of 7th level spell slots, you're going to use an 8th line. Is basically it.
Okay.
Or if you have your arcane recovery.
Still a solid spell.
Yes.
No, I'm a sorcerer. I don't have that.
Okay, I got you. But don't you have something that gives you your meta magic back? Can't you get something
I do have a sorcerer thing, but I can only go up to 5th level.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that is something that now brings you to another section that is going to get discussed, but the Centennial meeting is coming around. Blackstaff is thrilled with your progress. She's been happy to have you as a pupil. You guys have really gotten along, especially because it's been a two-way street of both of you growing. She then inquires to you if there's any type of magic spell that you wish to learn and start to research after she's given you these first 3.
The one that was specifically that I had asked for was a type of storage spell. I mean, there is Secret Chest, but the one she has doesn't actually require the physical chest object, and Secret Chest actually goes to the astral plane. So anybody can see into the astral plane. Actually, I think it does. Let me see.
Sure.
Or it goes to the ethereal plane. So it stays with you in the ethereal plane, but anybody who can access the ethereal plane with like True Sight or what have you will know it's there, and then if they can actually can make themselves ethereal, they could actually access it.
Gotcha.
And so I want something that's more secure than that.
Yes.
And the only example I have is what Blackstaff has cast.
Yes. So this is what would I call it? It's in the notes somewhere. I believe it's something like Blackstaff Secret Storage. It's not very creative.
Okay.
But basically the way it works is it is a pocket dimension that you would need a wish spell, divine intervention, or you have to have some sort of divinity tell you where it is, because it's basically the idea of it's somewhere in the universe. It's protected, but you got to know where to look. And if you know where to look, okay, now you can find it. It's not quite like yours where it's following you if someone just looks at the ethereal plane. Oh, it's right there. No. It's like you got to know where the fuck this was dumped off in the universe. And it just carries in there. You can carry I'll write the notes down for it. I believe it's a little over 200 pounds of stuff in a space that is 20 by 20 feet squared. Square feet? 20 by 20 square feet. It's not meant to keep massive things in there, though it's still enough room.
You said it's 20 by 20?
Yeah, so it's big in that sense. 20 by
but
20.
But it's only a small weight.
Yes, it's so you can't just dump bazillions of things in there. This is more for exactly like what she was keeping, the orbs in there or your arcane focus. 200 pounds of arcane magical items is a shit ton. And that's the use for it is basically on Blackstaffs of the past, there are many ventures. If they were in a ruin, they wanted to make sure, oh, I got this. This is mine. Or if they were researching something, take it, put it away, or even against other mages, take some of their arcane focus away from them and put it somewhere they can't get it.
Yeah.
So that was very much part of it in that spell. So I will do... okay. Got that. Okay. And so you want to learn that. So this will take us just past the centennial, or just before the centennial. And as she starts getting into teaching you this spell, you guys are probably your first week in. That is when Blackstaff shows up to you with markings of madness on her face one day. And she looks exhausted. And this is where she lets you know that the tribunal has been moved up a few days. She's like, there's been an incident.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah. We were researching. You'll learn all the details at the Centennial, but an experiment went wrong, and this is now the results. But thankfully, I am all right thanks to the Chosen, and there is more to digest. But let us put that to the side right now and focus on the exciting, which is the arcane.
Okay.
It's like, Dad, you went and got injured. I don't know. Are we still playing ball today? Are we practicing? You need the scholarship. We're practicing. So I need you to make your wisdom check.
8.
Oh, this one is taking time, and it's taking enough time where Rumble Down Under has now come, and you don't have access to it yet. So this is something you will pick up again afterwards with that low of a roll right now. So we'll continue this after the next months, because it's going to be a many months journey to Rumble Down Under and back. But Blackstaff sees you struggling with this, and she very much comforts you, because this is a spell in which that is not only difficult to learn, difficult to recall. A lot of the times you're like, okay, I can throw something in a pocket dimension, but to get it back, you're like, where did it go? What did I do? And so, like, this is why we use, like, not sand, basically, or rocks or clay. We send it, so we're not losing anything. But you're basically just teleporting shit to who knows where.
Yeah, the teleporting stuff I'm familiar with.
Easy.
Bringing it back is
really hard.
Like, this spell is mechanically completely different from anything I've ever learned. So
yeah,
I'm not surprised by that roll.
So this is where we'll stop with those checks right now momentarily.
Okay.
And this encapsulates the about 6 months of training you got to spend one-on-one with Blackstaff. You learned 3 spells permanently, and you're on your way to your 4th.
Cool.
All right. Now, with that said, before you guys take off for Rumble Down Under on a night, Colvith is sitting up late to talk with you as you're struggling to grasp this, and you're kind of okay because there's no rush. You now know all the other bigger things going on in the world right now, so it's like, this will be important. I'm gonna get to it, but now you're jazzed to use your new stuff, and Colvith is also equally jazzed to be hopefully seeing this display as he's talking with you, just like, when we go down there and track this slaving bastard, I can't wait to see the look on not only his face, but everyone else's face when you bust out your new abilities. They're going to revel. They're going to look at you and be like, oh, Tyrian, you look so beautiful. Look at you, glisten with new arcane magic. They'll just be worshipping you, Tyrian.
I don't know about worshipping, but it'll be something, certainly.
They should be worshipping you. A lot of them don't probably even understand the greatness in front of you and what they see. Really something else, and I couldn't tell you. I couldn't be proud of you. I was worried a little bit, and in some of those months, I was like, I don't know if he's going to make it through, but here we are. Well, I knew we were going to make it through, but in the sense of like, oh, are we going to be average for quite a time longer, or are we going to continue to push to that special calling that we have deep inside of us? That fire that burns, that makes me oh so attracted to you and your magic. It's just wonderful. He's just staring off outside your window with a big fucking smile on his face right now as you're just chilling, exhausted in your room. Well, I'm in such a good mood, I'm going to go fuck with a bunch of taverns tonight. This just is... you earned it.
Of course you would.
You just relax tonight, my friend. I have hell to raise. As he opens up your window, and I have no idea what that smells like. As then he goes out the window and goes into the streets of Waterdeep.
I'll just sit, kind of digest everything.
Mm-hmm. Anything Tyrian wants to reflect upon or anything? Any plans he wants to make or anything like that?
One thing that is certainly on the mind.
Yes.
That I hadn't thought I would be thinking of, but after the meeting, I didn't really express it as much in the meeting.
There's a lot.
I am real concerned about my mom. She is either on the South Wall or in the Ivory City. Ooh. Essentially forcibly conscripted. Ooh. And that, even though I distance myself, that is on the mind.
Mm-hmm. Almost delete that shit. Glad I didn't. Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we never had the opportunity to make our way over there.
Certainly.
Before Skoberheim came rolling through.
Yes, and I would say, given what Ignatius came back and reported to in the meeting and anything you've talked to him afterwards with, it is very clear that actually, I don't think he detailed in the meeting, but he would told you in the time in between, he was in Relimoso. He was inside. Visited Relimoso.
Shit.
During his side mission. That is where he found the place completely abandoned. All the wells were plugged. All the food was poisoned. All the crops were killed in that respect. And the town was an absolute ghost town. It was...
Yeah, I don't know if she's alive, if she's dead.
It was...
And
Yeah, go ahead.
And I was pretty young when I left, and it was very much like I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
So, it's not necessarily a regret of mine, but I wish I hadn't resumed. I wish I hadn't completely cut contact with her.
Right.
She wasn't the problem. My dad was
Yes, and she didn't really know how to cope with it. She didn't know how to really deal with it. I'd say even in your age, you could really see just the tough spot your mother was in. And then after your experience in Tondon, you really fucking get why it was like, we can't do anything. If we make an issue, the nobles will know. And then all of a sudden, you're going to have the higher echelon of the inner circles and the governing structures being like, no, we don't allow this. We don't allow insubordination. We don't allow conflicts within the family. You get that shit in order, or you disappear. But as a kid, it's like this stuff, didn't seem right with you. Didn't sit right with you. You from a young age, you could tell the inherent injustice going on, and it was just all this shitty, awful system that. Even,
oh my god. I'm just reflecting backwards.
Yeah.
When I wrote my dad,
yeah,
the whole point was like trying to gain power out of jealousy of me, but it also, in how things have developed, makes complete sense with the whole Ivory Peninsula.
Yeah,
wanting to break out of that lower class state.
Exactly. So I would say make that connection with Tyrian. Not quite sympathy, but an understanding of sorts for your father. You were still his son, and he should have treated you better. But those people are fucked. Tyra was fucked. The inner circle was fucked. The whole system was fucked. These people had awful ideas, and it was all about strength and corruption and class structure. And your dad definitely seems like a product of what a fucking shit world it was, and it's like, it's not fair. It's just not fair that, you got cheated out of something like that, especially when you see parents like Calgary's parents, and some of the other characters here that have their own families still around. Thankfully, with this misfit group, Chalmer's parents would be a good example, directly to Tyrian, of the loving, caring family you didn't have. But in the same breath, Tullius literally having fuck all has been great for you. And part of your instant connection with Tullius too is just like not having that solid foundation of a family background between you guys.
Yeah.
So all that is going on most certainly, and something Tyrian can definitely look into after Rumble Down Under to see where Mom might be and what she might be up to. If she got sent to the Ivory Wall, the Ivory City, or somewhere else entirely.
All right.
Okay. Anything else before you go to sleep?
Just... maybe I'll just go to my window and just kind of look off in the direction Colbeth ran to. Look for his shenanigans.
Give me a perception check.
I'm not gonna see anything. 5.
Darn. You can't hear, or you can't see anything, but you do hear some guards out front, your favorite ones, being like, "Oi! Why is it all tiny on you now? Oi, it's tiny on you too!" You can hear the beginning of Colbeth's hell-raising night.
Mm-hmm.
You fall asleep, and as you dream of your mother and you dream of your life and the training with Blackstaff, very similar to like when you are studying for a math exam and then you start dreaming about math and solving for math problems. Many of these spells and the arcane runes and the structure of magic is just running through your mind at night. And you can feel that warmth again, and it almost like replays in your mind that use of that meteor spell in Minna, and just feeling that magic and being on track to wield such power just fills you full of this internal fire. And then you feel this shake as you come back to consciousness.
What? Open my eyes.
you see a metallic hand over your throat, and you can see the eyes of Mansoon in full fury. And you see him look at you, and he goes, "You are vexing." And he teleports with you. You appear, and I will stop this music. You appear inside this, looks like pristine stonework all the way through. You can see this strange apparatus inside here. It looks like there are these arcane circles on the ground, and these runes travel all the way up the walls. In the center, it looks to be some sort of cage, and you see around you all sorts of arcane runes. You don't have any clue what they mean, but it also stops at one portion of this area and starts filling into this laboratory all around you as he lets go of your throat and he starts walking away. And you've never seen Mansoon this unhinged. He's pacing back and forth and muttering to himself right now as you are looking about this area. Give me a perception check.
Total 20.
Cool. Give me a moment. I'm going to try and throw in the next music. Ooh, is the tension music still here from last time? We could do that one. What was that called? Scrolling up. Oh, there's a Rickroll. One last howl. I think it was Air Spark, so I'm going to do that one. Copy, paste. I believe this is a good one for now. Is it? Oh, no, not. No, it's got to be way darker than that shit. Oh, I know. I know the music. It's been put in here a bazillion times. I know which one. It's like his calling card. That's it.
Oh, the Barovian castle.
Yep. Yep.
I know it by name now.
Yep. Yup. It's uploading. I'm sure it's in there, but I don't have the quick link to grab. Beautiful. Okay, copy, link, play. That's the one. That's the good shit. All right.
So total 20.
Total 20.
Perception.
Just barely. As you look about, you start to feel your heart accelerate. You find yourself inside what looks to be Mansoon's private laboratory, his private lair, and you can see his experiments inside here. Of just this area, you see a multitude of different doors and paintings. There is over the archway, so on the opposite side where all those runes are and that experiment seems to be going on, the room splits and it gets all normal where there isn't this flow of arcane runes all around. There is this phrase that I would say, what languages do you speak?
I speak La.
Yeah, let me
technically Draconic, Infernal, Abyssal, Celestial.
Infernal, Abyssal, Celestial. I'd say Celestial. I'm almost certain you would be able to read it in Celestial. You can see on the inscribed above, almost like a moniker, is no gods, only science above. as you continue to look around, you see other things that very much reinforce the scientific method and the immense amount of research as you've become familiar with Blackstaff's training. This is at a whole nother level. You can now recognize that this is what for us would be the equivalent of walking into the MIT lab with all the MIT students, and there's the MIT, and then there's the prodigy that makes all the MIT students look bad. That's what Mansoon is right now in his lair to you. And it's like, oh, whoa. And the one thing you really catch on that you just get with that 20 is up in one of his areas, you can see many different workbenches are protected by fields, some sort of magical fields, and they are floating in different areas inside this area as well. One of which has this strange handle to it that looks almost like music notes and a long blade to it. It looks like a sword of design you've never seen before. As he is pacing back and forth, he finally stops and he looks right at you.
So, yeah. As a brief aside,
yes.
With regard to Blackstaff's secret space,
yes.
I know I don't have it quite down yet. Mm-hmm. Do I have it down enough to know I can send things to a place, I just can't recover them easily?
You can send them somewhere, but you have no idea where you're sending them.
Okay.
So to recover it might be near impossible.
Okay.
That would probably be on the side of divine intervention, which would still be pretty dope, potentially. Maybe he don't get it, but hey, if he don't have it and we don't have it, zero-sum game.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of cleric friends. We have them rolling it every single day. One day they might get it.
That is a possibility as you quickly look in your mind.
I'm just weighing things up.
Just sizing things up as the place itself is it's so sterile. It is there is no creativity inside here. There is no room that you normally see in a majority of casters. Everyone has their own styles. His seems so rigid. It is very much without emotion, a majority of what you're seeing in this initial states at the lab. And that's why it's in such contrast of him finally as he takes down his hood, and you can see his young face, and his hair has now gotten longer around, and he looks to you, and you can just see these fucking beat. His eyes are bloodshot. He is angry. And he looks to you, Tyrian, and he goes, "You are one of the most vexing creatures in existence. I have given you the utmost patience, but no longer. It ends tonight." I need you to roll initiative.
Fuck.
And now we gotta loop something fun. You're in here. Here's some. Now we gotta do the scrolling shit. I should probably just look for.
You can just use the search function if you have the name.
Yep. I was gonna do that, but I just found it. Boop, boop, boop. There it is. Here we go, boy. I need your initiative.
16.
What's your dex?
Oh, 0. Holy shit.
Oh, baby. What's your dex, Tyrian?
0.
0. Let me see what Mansoon's is. I have it up here. +2. You're fucked. Not to be outdone. There's almost like a sense of seriousness when he sees how well trained you've become, that as you both react, you're reacting in the same moment he is as he begins to cast his magic spell. And you see him go into the void as he puts his finger out towards you and he casts Disintegrate.
I'm going to attempt a counter spell.
Go for it, please.
Fucking. Actually, yeah, I'll try this first. Baby!
What do you got?
23.
20. He shoots it off, Tyrian. You go, boom! You knock that shit aside as the spell comes towards you. You focus, and the training you've been going through, too. Like, she's also run you through, like, mock fighting exercises with the Blackstaff, too. You've gone through some of this. She has been low-key, like, you know, in case we ever team up and gotta fight this motherfucker, but it's never been said, and there's definitely been a whole layer of paranoia with Blackstaff that obviously Tyrian doesn't know, but now the Chosen definitely know that literally her worst fear is Mansoon. So that's definitely been like this bottom layering, untold like brainwashing that's been going on as well. As you knock that to the side, you see him like, and he starts lifting up in the air, and you see his body start disappearing, and then finally settles up in the air at about 30 feet, looking down onto you. It is your move.
I am going to. Let's see. I'm going to shift myself so I'm engaging with him.
Yes.
But making myself closer to that weapon item of sorts.
Sure.
The one thing I want to try and do, shit. Runes all over the walls. I don't know what they do. Nope. Are there any like windows or doorways or anything?
Yes, there are windows. There's a multitude of windows. You can see they have just depictions of individuals studying magic. It's of everything that's Sturled, the depictions are way more lively and personal. One looks like like a college of sorts. One looks like there's all these different people laughing. There's others. There's one where you see them casting spells over a cauldron. There's 4 of those windows inside this area, but they're high off the ground, about 50 feet from the bottom layer.
So 2 sorcery points.
Yeah.
Are there any windows near him based on our angle?
I'd say now that you're going that way, the windows themselves are far enough from you guys. You're in the middle of this room, so you basically have a clear area right now about 20 feet to your left, 20 feet to your right, then hits the walls and goes up 50 feet, because that's all basically work area to keep out of anything that goes wrong from breaking the windows.
Yeah.
And now the windows are start at 50 feet and go up another like 120. They're again these giant wizards in this world have a boner for that shit, man. This is
I really want to what I want to try and do is I want to try and do 2 sorcery points to try and cast a fireball, but try and angle it so I can hit both Mansoon and possibly a window.
Absolutely. So is that what you're casting that spell?
Yes.
As you rear up and throw that fireball out, Mansoon gives you a counter spell right back. He's like, you just see him deadly focused on you, and he goes, "I'll show you magic." And he is going to attempt to counterspell it. That is at a
fireball is a 3rd level, so it's automatically dispelled.
Okay. So then it is automatically dispelled. So it fizzles out as now he does it right back. You are getting, I would say, Voldemort and Dumbledore vibes right now is what's going on as they're fucking slinging spells back and forth.
And then with my action, just because fuck you, Firebolt.
Go for it. Yep.
Shit. That's a 13 to hit.
Does not hit. As the firebolt goes off, you see his form disappear, form again somewhere else. And then he uses his legendary action and he goes, fire? I'll show you fire. As he does a firebolt back to you. And you see comes off his hands towards you. He's got to roll to hit before you roll the damage, Reed. Jesus.
Yep.
That is a 29.
Yeah, that'll
figures
hit.
So the firebolt comes into you, but you have resistance to fire, so that's nice.
Yep.
It is 29 points of fire damage. He rolled really high.
So 14.
Yep.
14.
As he hits into you.
Did the window break?
With
the fireball.
He counterspelled the fireball before it even went out.
Oh yes, that's true.
So you don't know if it would have or not at that point. It is now Mansoon's turn. And he is going to look to you and he goes, "We'll see how long your stamina keeps you safe." As he points towards you and he does Finger of Death as another laser comes out towards you.
Fuck. This one, I'm going to burn a 7th level counterspell.
Instantly dismissed. As you see deep, it comes screaming towards you, this green, and like the air itself is catching on fire as it shoots towards Tyrian. And Tyrian, you focus right up, and as it's just about to about to impact you, you put your hands, both of them out, they blaze with fire, and you just push that shit to the side, splitting the laser and despelling it, counterspelling it. And as it hits the ground too, you just see these arcane explosions go off with the ground, and they just, all this green necrotic energy soars up into the room and to the side. And he starts teleporting again around you. He starts changing his direction now. You have to now rotate. You're still in your place and you're still getting closer to the sword, but he is now moving at an angle towards you, away from the other arcane rune area, and now positioning himself into the farthest. So it's like, so where are we? So it's like 2 windows and 2 windows, and he's now towards like the furthest windows from the section over here, farthest from you, where all that experiments are going on. As a player, just so you have a mental image, it looks very similar to what was going on inside Lian Zhao on that other side. It's almost a replica of that area, or the other area was a replica of this area. And he comes over and you see him look towards you and he goes, "Blackstaff may be training you, but she is not half the wizard I am." It is your turn.
Let's see. Let's give it a try. 5th level hold monster.
Go for it! This is a spell save of what?
So this is going to be a wisdom save.
Okay, brutal. 24.
Okay. So he does save against it.
Yes.
As
you go to control him,
will you allow a very slight retroactivity?
Sure.
You're
one-on-one, a guy that normally takes out an entire party. Sure.
I meant to use 2 sorcerer points to make that a bonus action.
Okay, sure. That's totally fine. He still is able to resist it. You start to feel your control as you start locking him down, and you see him, his hand starts to close in. You see him focus, and then it like glows on the back here. The whole thing illuminates, and you get this like glint towards your eyes as it breaks your focus for a second, and he releases it, and you see your control over him just is dismissed.
And then for my action, I'm going to firebolt again, seeming like I'm aiming at him.
Yes.
And then I pretend like I miss and hit the window.
Go ahead and roll for attack roll against the window.
That is a 16.
Hits.
So that is going to be 3d10. All right. So that is going to be Ooh, I get to reroll that. Yeah, much better. 25 fire damage.
As it goes into the window and the firebolt, you see him dodge to the side and doesn't even watch as it goes past his shoulder and into the glass. You see your lightning bolt pass right through it.
Okay. Good to know, good to know.
It's not dispelled, and it definitely worked, but it just gone from your vision as soon as it traveled through there.
Okay. Alright. Again, kind of inching my way as if I'm repositioning, getting closer to the item.
You are now directly below the item, or a step in front of directly below the floating table where it looks like there's some kind of contraption 20 feet off the ground.
It's 20 feet, okay.
It's floating off the ground 20 feet, and there's some sort of arcane force field around it at this point. He's again going to use his firebolt against you as his legendary action. That is a 25.
That'll hit.
Oof! 26 points of fire damage.
13, and then because I've never fucking done it, I'm gonna use my reaction to Hellish Rebuke.
Go for it. Is there a range on that, though?
60 feet.
Oh, yeah, 60 feet. So as the firebolt hits you, you Hellish Rebuke back, and it travels the distance back towards Mansoon. Go ahead.
That is gonna be a
It's quite a pitch.
2d10. Get a little damage on him.
Yeah.
13.
13 damage.
Fire damage.
You got it. As you see, it burns into his robe, and it almost like as soon as the fire hits him, they're being put out. It does damage, but there's just like, dude, he is paranoid. Not like some of the things not paranoid. He's prepared, is what he is. In case of anything that might happen, he seems familiar with arcane fights. That's wrong. Is that wrong? No. Yes. It should be this number. I don't know why my math's being weird, because I have to borrow, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Jeez, I can't do math anymore. Okay. I got that. Excellent. We got that. You did that. You Hellish Rebuked him. Oh, I know what I was checking. I need to check on one thing real quick. Lost my train of thought there, that's why. Yeah, okay. Cool. So as that's all going back and forth, it's now Mansoon's turn again. He goes, I think it's time for you to see the limits of your capabilities. And he is going to do a power word stun at 8th level to you.
I have no reaction.
Okay. So as the spell comes out, it hits you. It's hitting you, and your body begins to lock up, and then you see it despelled in front of your eyes. And you hear Mansoon. Excuse me? You look around and you look to your left and you see a red tiefling with his hand out, and he goes,
Fuck yeah!
This is what legends are made of, my boy! Breathe deep, and we will be victorious, as he casts haste on you.
Ooh.
And you see Mansoon. An aberration stowaway. Let us not mince time then. And he's going to use a legendary action to shoot at Colbeth. yeah. 30 something to hit there. As he's continuing to teleport around, he's constantly moving. 23 damage to Colvith. Alright. And then Colvith is there, we'll say. That number, so that is 10, 7, 9, and okay. That is... Yep, cool. That's what Colvith is at right now, as you see your tiefling friend inside his party clothes still. It seems he came back from his night abroad and was still with you when Mansoon tried to take you away.
Aha!
Can't separate you from your dear friend, Colvith. What would you like to... No! Oh, no!
We didn't loop it.
I know. I was taking a risk. I knew it was extended, so let's go previous. And then loop. Is previous the void? Sounds like the void. I'll try this again then.
If you do, let's see.
We're good.
Okay, yeah.
Gotta keep the Mansoon theme going. Alright.
Oh, wait. Never mind. You is what I meant to do. So that's what we have listed. The others weren't removed.
Gotcha. I'll have to.
So what you can actually do,
clear queue.
if it doesn't loop again, what you can just do is play space 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, back to
continue. It is now Tyrian. Is now your turn after Colvith has given you a haste spell.
Okay.
As he looks to you, he goes, "Do what you can, and let's get the hell out of here as soon as we can."
I'm gonna look at him, and then I'm gonna just try and like dart my eyes behind me a couple times.
He picks it up, what you're throwing down.
I'm gonna bonus action, spread out my flaming demonic wings.
Yeah, baby. As you now
and raise up so I'm at the level of the desk, but facing Mansoon.
Beautiful. Still facing him. You can see. I gotta see if Mansoon's putting any of this together. Let's give it a little intelligence check on Mansoon. That's a natural one. Nice.
Yeah! Yes! Fuck yes!
Oh shit. Oh shit.
I am going to... what am I going to do? I'm going to make him do a dex saving throw and cast a 4th level Agnazar's Scorcher.
You got it.
Is he within 30 feet of me?
No, he's 60 feet from you.
Okay, then I will not do that.
Okay.
I will instead do a 4th level Fireball in the same vein.
He's going to try and counterspell it again. He will have none of this. Oh! Not so hot! It's the magic, what is it?
So it's, the DC is the level, which is 4 plus 10.
Okay, yeah, so it's 14, but then it's his roll plus his...
So it's a D20 plus his intelligence modifier because he's a wizard.
Fails.
Yes!
As he goes to counterspell it, you see his concentration has slipped with the arrival of Colvith, and at the beautiful display of your wings, you see like at your wings, his entire body, his eyes grow wide, and he shakes and he goes, "It cannot be." Okay.
So that is gonna be a let's see. 38. And then 43 fire damage.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Baby! Man.
Or wait, I'm sorry. 41 fire damage. I did something slightly wrong.
It's fine, I'll add 2 back. Still great. Monsoon, as the fireball explodes onto him, knocking him back a few feet. You see him take his hand out and dismiss all the fire and push it to the side after he's taken the damage. You see just deadly focus, pure rage. And you see him, you will know the fury of my power. Go ahead.
And then in my brain, in my head, I'm gonna speak to Kolveth, and I'm gonna say, next move, I'm getting out of here.
Okay. It is now Monsoon's turn, and he is going to cast a big boy spell. I just gotta find it. As you see this black hole form in front of both you and Kolveth in the center, and you see him go, there will be no escaping from this. You think you can use such power in front of me? Enjoy annihilation.
I'm going to attempt a counterspell at 5th level.
It is an 8th level spell.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. Go for this one, baby.
Please, please, please. Nope. 8.
Where the fuck is this? Because I made notes on my variants for Monsoon. I'm pretty sure. Do I have the right book in front of me? It is. That's what I was looking for. Was his detailed stat block, and I don't know where the fuck I put it. So that's what I was looking around before this. I'm like, we'll see. We'll see how things go tonight. And I'm like, yep, here we are. Oh yeah, no, it was right here. It was right here. I'm stupid. Okay, here we go. Yeah. It is his 8th level. Was it that one, or was it the other page? He didn't cast that. Fuck you. Oh, there it is. I need a con saving throw. You're pretty good at those.
I am, actually. That is going to be a... fuck. 24.
Save. DC is 21. You are still pulled towards it 5 feet as you can feel this immense force pulling you towards this black hole that has come in front of you, and you will take half of... This is 12d10 force damage.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's slapping today. It was 12d10. 12d10 is 76 force damage. And so Kolveth has to make the same saves. Natural 19. Please, Monsoon, you have to do much better than that. I've been around a long time, and
so it was 7 to 6 force damage.
Yeah,
okay.
76.
Was that half. Is that already?
No. Now you have it. Now you have it. No. Oh my god. Holy fuck.
I was gonna say
that's ridiculous. It's 152 or 162 something like that. 152. That'd be fucking ridiculous.
So that is
39
or 38.
Yes.
Okay.
60. Yep. 38 force damage. How's Tyrian looking?
Beat up. Doing okay, but not quite all the way there.
All right. As Mansoon's spell goes off, he goes, "This is your finale." And at this, you actually see through one of the doors, a bunch of black cloaks enter into the area, and one of them puts their cloak, their hood down, and you can see the face of Hela Thornton, and you see her go like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" As she sees what's occurring right now.
I've only seen her. I actually wouldn't know her because
yeah,
the bow. I was thinking, oh, have I ever seen her? It was one time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. As it's her and two other mages have now come in, and you can see her in complete distress at seeing what the fuck is going on in here right now. It is now Kolveth's turn. Seeing what your eye movements, he is going to attempt casting a Dispel Magic at 9th level. As he steps up and channels all of his power in it, you see Mansoon, he's going to try and counterspell that shit. Here comes a big roll, baby! He does not. That's a natural 7. He does not counterspell it. As you see, the barrier around his table disappears. And there's now just the canister that is slowly moving away, this clockwork device that seems to be working on this, like I said, it was music notes, right, on it?
Mm-hmm.
Of the sword blade. That's the crossguard of this strange-looking sword blade that drew to your attention.
Is it a whole complete sword, though?
It's completely full.
Yeah. Yep.
You can see arcane runes inside the. Now that you're closer to it, on the blade itself, and you can give me a religion check.
Not much. 8.
8. It's weird. Reminds you of something. Seems super special if it's in his workshop. And he's working on it.
Oh, this worked out. Oh shit!
It wasn't. It was a possibility. That's why I do these things.
No, just that turn of combat.
Yeah. It is now your turn, Tyrian.
I am going to. So one of my hasted actions I can only use for a weapon attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Yeah.
I'm just flavoring it as me grabbing this item as part of that use an object.
Totally fine.
Grabbing the sword.
Yep.
Grab the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Cast, kind of channeling it through one of the windows, hoping it's a blank spot.
Mm-hmm.
500 feet away, casting a 6th level arcane gate to get me the fuck out of there.
All right. Kolveth, you see with you, he's able to come right towards you, and basically his version of Misty Step at that moment just like gives you that little like Misty Step.
Yeah, so I literally just 500 feet away, aiming towards the window.
Okay.
Casting arcane gate, having the sword in my hands, and just flying.
Okay.
And because I'm hasted, I'm double fly speed.
Okay. Roll 1d4 for me.
Sorry, that was I rolled a d6. 4.
Okay. That is going to put you. Shit. This is crazy. Beware. Because I knew the first two. He had to go to the fourth. Okay. I got it. As you go through, you find yourself, you go through your arcane gate, you hit the window, and you just find your entire essence pulled somewhere else. And as you come to, and even Kolveth was like, what the fuck was that? As you guys are inside, you see this massive library all around you. It is all encompassing, and it is like it's one floor, and it just keeps going up. It just keeps going up as you see. You have found Mansoon's private library, and what you can surmise just from your passive intelligence and looking around, you can see all these other, like, there's all this automated stuff. You can see, like, there's the books are sorting themselves away. There's all these, like, automated spirits that are putting things in place and as it goes, and clockwork devices as well, all of them floating. There's driftstone in here. Mansoon has read every single one of these books, and it's not thousands. We're talking millions of fucking books in here. These are all magical books or books with history all throughout. And you can see he has a desk inside this area and a bunch of massive fireplaces that go up these endless rows of books. It's one level, but it just goes up for infinity. And on the back, behind it, is this extremely large glass. And each of them have this, like, display of a scene that looks like to be some sort of it's got blue etchings. It's some sort of landscape that you are unfamiliar with. The landscape itself is normal. It's not like it's not frozen. It's none of that. It's like a normal countryside landscape, and it's all just tinted with blue glass, basically blues and whites and all that. You're inside Mansoon's study.
For flavor, when I cast it, it's a 2-dimensional ring.
Okay.
So I cast it so it's perpendicular to Mansoon.
Yep.
And it's only visible from the side the portal is on.
Yeah.
When you look at it from the other side, you don't see it.
Yeah.
So from Mansoon's perspective, I drew a ring with my fingers in the air, went to the side, and just vanished.
I love it.
With coal bath.
You can hear just this roar raining out of anger from Mansoon as you try and run away, and you can hear the shouts of his followers.
60 feet per second. Mm-hmm. With just my base movement speed as I'm hasted, I'm just flying.
Yes.
To leave.
Okay. As you are.
I'm not like I really want to stop and try to pilfer something, but I think there are more pressing matters. I'm also gonna take a moment to bonus action, convert sorcery points.
Yeah.
To let's see, how many is it? 5 sorcery points to recover a 3rd level.
Okay.
Slot.
That's happening. You can see Kolveth is trying to grab shit as you guys are flying. He is just knocking shit off shelves. I rolled a natural 1 on his dex check, so he's not grabbing shit. You keep moving, you keep looking for a way out, and you just see this goes, it seems to go up forever, it seems to go down forever. You're going back and forth, and you can see, like, his creatures are now on alert. His automated spirits and his automated clockwork devices are coming to you, and you're a foreign substance. You're not supposed to be in here. So it's starting to zero in, and you can hear, "You can't escape. This is my home. I know your every movement. This is the end of you." As then he teleports into the room with you now. And you see coming in as well shortly after him is Hila, Akka, and another of his followers that seem to be trying to reason with Mansoon at this point. They seem to be in a lot of distress right now seeing their guy like he is. And they're just like, "This isn't the way! Master! We have not seen you like this! You are not well! Let us help you!" And he looks and goes, "I will be well when this is dealt with." And he sticks out his hand towards you, and he is going to cast a power word kill.
I'm going to attempt a counter spell.
Go for it.
Fuck. Shit. This is gonna go 24.
Oh! Fucking clutch, baby!
Ganlin is serving me well tonight.
You are in full panic. This is no longer like I'm in control. This is the Rick and Morty episode that you were in control at no point during this. And the power word kill goes off, and you counterspell it just barely, and you can feel Mansoon's fury inside him building. And you can see them look, and you see Gila Thornton be like, Master, please! And she looks towards you and she's like, enough, Tyrian! And she's gonna do a hold monster on you. So that is a Constitution saving throw, I believe?
It's a wisdom
saving throw, please.
Fuck, 12.
You clench up as Kolvith is like, oh, shit! If he didn't roll his natural ones there, he would have been able to help you. As all this shit is falling down, he's like, he is now, after grabbing some shit off the shelf and stuffing it in his pockets, he's looking around, he's like, Tyrian, my boy, Tyrian, this is not the time. I can't quite get you out of here right now because of whatever the fuck this bullshit place is. As Mansoon is looking, and you see him take something out of his pocket, and he crushes this stone, and you see like almost these incense go up into his nose, and he goes, as he seems to be doing some sort of arcane recovery himself at that moment. Gila looks as she's concentrating. She's like, Master, it's fine. I have him where he is. We have a plan. Your plan. And you see him just... Gila Thornton's making a persuasion check. Ooh, that's a natural 19. The fucking dice tonight. This is fucking... I didn't know how the fuck this was gonna go. This is fucking exciting. And you see him... And he teleports right up to you, and you see Kolvith being like... he's gonna put a delayed fireball right on his fucking face as soon as he comes back. He's like, don't you touch my boy. As he puts it right in Mansoon's face, he's going to attempt to counterspell. Fuck, Mansoon! You are just fucking losing it tonight. It goes right on to him. But in that moment, he grabs the sword from you, and he takes it out of your hands, also cutting you with it in that respect. So it's going to do... let's see. Yeah, that hits. That's a 19 hits you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that hits.
Wait, actually.
No?
Yes, it does.
So that's just going to be these guys here. That is 11 slashing damage. Just passive, nothing extra. It just cuts you on its way out. And he takes the sword out and he looks and he's like, Mansoon is always in control. He's always ahead of everybody. He's got those bloodshot eyes. There's sweat down his forehead. There is this almost maddened look inside his eyes. And as he puts his hand on your face and the delayed blast is right on him, Kolfith is like, he goes right to him and says like, I'll blow your fucking head off if you so much as hurt a hair on his head. As he's right next to him, you see, your time will come, devil. And he kicks you from his lair, and you are back in your home as the delayed fireball goes off for Kolvith.
I wanted to take the sword.
You were so close, dude. You were so close. God, you were so close. Just a couple more. Ah! Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah. So that's that. Whole person is broken on you. You have now been left from that, and you are back in your room, breathing heavily as Kolvith. Let me pause the music.
I take a point of exhaustion because the haste ends.
Yep. Fucking got the shit out of him at the end there. That was great. That's pretty great. Oh. He leans back in the chair. Oh, man. That was awesome. That was terrific. Oh, shit. Oh, that was more exciting than what I
I think that was one of the swords.
What?
One of the claws.
Oh! Of course! You're so... I just thought you wanted shit. Of course! Shit! Shit!
Yes.
Shit!
I mean, we know where it is now, because this group doesn't know what the other group knows.
Yes, it's kind of great how you both know at the same time. Yes.
But yeah, that's why I wanted to take it. It had these weird markings that reminded me of one of the gods, and I thought, why would he care about a sword? And then that's what I think. Oh God. How did I survive that? Thank you again. Oh my God, I would not have survived that without you.
We are strong together. Tyrian, there is nothing we can't do! We survived Monsoon! I told you we were meant for great things! Your thanks is being fucking powerful! As he used to laugh.
I'm gonna go see Blackstaff.
Yes! Of course, right now!
I don't really feel comfortable sleeping in my bed tonight.
No! As he's about to leave, he's like, but wait, before the fuck we go, wait. As he brings you right back, as before you go away, he's like, oh, that was crazy as shit, and I did let you down there for a moment, but reason I didn't catch that fucking counter spell from the little witch. And you see, out of his sleeve, he pulls out a wand. I did snag this. And he gives this to you.
Oh shit.
You can add a Wand of the War Mage +2 to your inventory.
Ooh.
And he goes, and I think this will be of extreme interest to us. As he opens up a spell book page, he ripped out of one of the spell books, and it is in a language you don't understand, part of the magic that you do not know about. So you can now research this over time to try and learn whatever this magic is that Monsoon has access to, but you don't and have never heard of. You can add a page to your inventory of, what do I want to call it? No, fuck it. It's easy enough. It's labeled on the page, and most of it's written in Celestial, which you can read. It's a mix of Celestial and other arcane languages, but the word that sticks out to you is Dunamancy.
Ooh.
And now you're welcome to go see Blackstaff.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go straight to the tower.
Sure. Blackstaff is still wide awake. She's dealing with a plethora of issues. You can see, since the marking of madness has been on your teacher's face, she is a lot more exhausted. She seems a little more irritable. It's definitely changed her mood up a bit, but she's still Blackstaff. There's definitely some sort of toll that is being taken on her.
Having gained a little bit of familiarity,
yeah.
I kind of like brush past like her greeting person who guards her.
Yep.
Kind of like slam open the door, exhausted and beaten looking.
Yeah, she can clearly see you have fucked up. She sees the singes, she sees all sorts of on you, and she's like, "Out having fun late, were we?"
And I'm just gonna slam the page of paper in front of her.
Her eyes grow wide. Where did you get this? She knows where you got it instantly when she sees something. What were you doing? She looks to you right now, and she's like, "What is this?"
So he appeared. He took me to his tower. He was very angry. He wanted to kill me because I was vexing him. We fought.
Nothing vexing.
He has one of the swords. One of the claws, I think. he had a sword, and it looked like it had these markings of some sort of deity, and he was doing something to it. He was enhancing it in some way. And I tried to take it, but I couldn't. But I was able to recover this.
Mm-hmm. She takes the page. She kisses you on the side of the cheek. She goes, "This is amazing. I cannot believe you've gotten this. But also, what were you thinking? Trying to get stuff. You should have tried to get away as soon as possible. You survived Monsoon. That's incredible." She is happy. She takes in the information. I will tell Salem about this. We will start trying to figure out a way to track down Monsoon, or maybe even trap Monsoon so we can get our hands on these. These are the key to our future. Tyrian, this is incredible news. We are also going to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. He is taking a special interest in you, and I don't care what you think. You're going to have guards now, and they are going to be looking after you. We are going to I'm assigning some of our anti-caster units to be with you at all times while you're in Waterdeep. When you're with your group and on missions, fine, but too many times into your room now has Monsoon appeared.
Yeah.
So that is also something you might want to make note of. As long as you're in Waterdeep, the anti-casters will be with Tyrian.
One thing I'm actually going to figure out. It's probably going to take a while to actually create something like this.
Mm-hmm.
But just thinking of this,
yeah,
I'm wondering if there is a way for me to... It may not do a whole lot in terms of actually breaking things, but create a permanent, like, daily recharging casting of Magnificent Mansion attached to, like, an object specifically in my room. So I wouldn't be able to take it anywhere.
Yeah.
But, like, it would actually remove me from the space and make me a little bit more difficult to get at.
Yes. You also have, like, and just for context, though, like, this, like, if you were staying in Vera's place, literally nobody but fucking Monsoon or God is getting to you.
Yeah.
It's just like you got the one guy that is literally one of the most accomplished magical users ever angry at you. For some reason.
Doesn't like me.
Nope. And with that, unless you want to do anything else, that is where we're going to end this session for Tyrion's side quest.
All right.
That's why if you had the encounter with Monsoon and the swords before the meeting, it would have been really important and useful for the next meeting. Like, where the fuck are they? So that's why I kind of needed these two things, the encounter with Raylan and the encounter with Monsoon. Just happens to be your fucking character.
To happen so that we don't go across the fucking
sea. Because then you guys would be like, what the fuck, Reed? We went all this way. We just dungeon crawled through 4 dungeons and it's not here. It's like, yeah, it was never there. It's like, oh, shit. I tried to get you this information, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool beats.